and welcome to What Has Matto Been Doing? That's me, Matto. And what have I been doing? I'll tell you what I've been doing. I have been making board game boxes. Now, if you're not interested in board game boxes and you don't want to watch a 15-20 minute video because that's how long this is going to take, then there's no point staying here watching this. But if you're stupid like me, then you love board game boxes, like, massively. And I'm going to tell you all about this box that I've made. Now, what do I do with board game boxes? What I do is I get my box and I chop it up and I rebuild it. And I rebuild it into something that's smaller, that's better organised, that's more fun to play, it's stronger, it's longer lasting. This is what I do with board game boxes. Now, what board game box I'll be talking about? Here we go. Escape, the Curse of the Temple. Is what I'm going to talk about. Now, what a great game. I love this game. Good crack. Now, the old box, this is the big box. Big box, blooming massive, innit? Massive, stupidly organised. You pick it up and all the bits go everywhere inside because there's space everywhere. Stupid. You think, alright, let's play this. Now, I want to play this expansion bit. And you try and find the bits and it's like, well, what's here? And then it's buried under some tile somewhere and there's some tokens here. What's that? It's, you know, it's alright, but it ain't good. So, I made a box to sort all that stuff out. Now, I think it looks pretty good. Here it is. I've chopped up the old box and stuck all the bits on here, which is never an easy task. It's always risky because you're never quite sure you're going to make it fit. And there's a couple of boxes I've made and they don't look very good because the wording hasn't quite fitted or the picture doesn't fit on the top. And I was worried about the picture on this one. I didn't think I'd get the picture. But I spent a lot of time thinking about it when I was doing it. And I think it's come out okay. I think it's come out really well, actually. It's a bit weird because it would be nice if that picture was a whole thing. Because that's, you know, it doesn't match up. And this obviously looks like something separate. And there's always things after you've done it that you notice that you wish you'd done. I wish I'd done this. That's part of it. I wish I'd actually cut that out, which isn't easy to do and it can look very messy. It's a bit dodgy. I think that looks much nicer, and then, you know, and I thought I could have maybe made a nice something that just wasn't so square. Anyway, that's more risky. You've only got one chance when you chop up the box. You've got one chance. So you've got to be bold if you want to take risks with that. Now, this box is very strong. I make it out of grey board, this stuff, which I think is called chipboard in the US. 2mm, doubled up, so it's 4mm, so it's thick. And with this lid and stuff on the top, you're even talking 6mm. 6mm? Jesus, that is a tough box. You're getting into wood territory, man. That is strong. Now, let's open it up and have a look. Now, I've made it very, very tight. Too tight. See, it's always a challenge. When you make boxes like this, I want them tight so the lid doesn't fall off. So I can put them like that and the lid don't fall off. I can do that and the lid don't fall off. Right? And I can shake it around and I can put it upside down. I can do all this and it's fine. That's what I'm looking for. But it's very hard to get the difference between the inside box and the lid. So it comes off, so it's tight and comes off. And when I made it, I make it out of this grey board and then I strengthen all the joints, and the joints are strong enough anyway, so I'll do that particular way. And then I cover it in paper, brown paper, and then I paint it black with spray paint. But when I did the brown paper, it was perfect. It just was, it slid on and off beautifully, and I worked out my tolerances, which is like, you know, 2mm bigger. I worked out, and once you've got the paper and the masking tape, all that kind of stuff, that's about 1mm. Anyway, that's technical, and it was perfect. And then when you paint it, it's got all stiff. It's gone all tacky, stupid paint. Gone all tacky, gone all stiff. And so I've had to work this to try and get it coming off. And how it is now, it's lovely. Blooming lovely. I love it. But it's caused some damage to the box. As you can see, it's scraped off bits of paint here. I've got to work out another way, or a better, not another way. I've just got to keep practicing. It gets difficult, you see, when you get thick boxes like this. You have to give more tolerance for it to happen. A lot of the boxes I make are much thinner for like Euro games and stuff, and they don't get stuck so much. But this has got depth to it. So let's all take this apart. Let's just make sure this is in shot first. Perfect. Now I did try making this video with me looking at the camera with the thing reversed. Jesus man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't talk normally while looking at myself. It's too weird. God knows how people on telly do that. Anyway, so that comes off lovely. Look at that. I mean, you know, it's on there. Give it a shake. I love it. I just love it. I love these boxes, and this box just looks great. Look at that. Looks better than the original box, I think. Apart from the picture's a bit crap. If that was all one picture, it would be fabulous. So now the insides. So what have we got? We'll go through what I've got. So we got the CD and a board. Just put this on the top because, as you'll see, it wasn't easy to find a place to put it. Rule books for Kickstarter Queenies. Rule book. Fitting lovely in there. Fitting lovely in there. Now this is what I've done. Now, I struggled to get this in here. I spent, you know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make boxes to standard sizes. I've picked some standard sizes because the early boxes I made, and I've got quite a lot of them, and I want to make some videos about them. I made them as efficiently as possible to squeeze the space down as efficiently as possible, and thus they're all different sizes. And you put them on the shelf, and it looks blooming horrible. Higgledy-piggledy. You look at it and think, I love those boxes, but they look crap, all like that, in different sizes. So I'm trying to get to standard sizes. And I didn't think I'd be able to get this escape into a standard size, into this Euro. It's an A4, you know, like a lot of the Euro games, Puerto Rico and all that style of game. It's all A4 size. And I didn't think I'd get in this. And I literally spent, I don't know, certainly one evening, possibly even two, I can't remember now. And, you know, thinking about it during the working day and all that kind of stuff, how I was going to do it. Which is what you've got to do sometimes. You've got to try something and do this and do that, and don't know, I don't like that, and you think, oh, I'm not going to get it, and then you're eating your dinner and you, whoa, yes, I've got an idea, and you go rush upstairs because you're so excited, and you try it out and you think, oh god, it doesn't work. So you keep thinking, and then eventually an idea pops in your head. Boom, this was the idea that popped in my head, and it works, and it's cosmic because it just works to perfection. But the only problem is it's very tight. Normally with something like this, you see I've got boxes in there, boxes within boxes, and normally I would give a tolerance about 3 millimeters, which sounds like a lot, but when you do it you'd be surprised how little it is. And it's the perfect amount of tolerance for things to move around. This has got nothing. This has got 0.5 millimeter. It's really tight, and that is a bit of a problem, but I don't care because it all fits. Everything is really tight. So these boxes now, these come out. Now, this is the first one you're always going to take out. I think I might be going out of shot. I'll just make sure that I'm in shot. These are the base tiles here. You're going to use them in every game. And I've written on the front here, don't know if you can see it, I hope so. Let's just have a quick little look because I'm not sure where I'm holding it. And yeah, that's alright. Oh, toilet seats! Right, we can live with that. I really should get used to be able to look at myself on the screen, but I just can't be natural. It just feels stupid. So, I've written on the top here what expansion it is. Well, it's the base game. The page in the rulebook where you find the rules for it, which works both ways. You're looking through the rules and you think, oh, I want to use that. You can see here, and it's just a reference. Tells you what it is, base game tiles, and what tiles are in there, roughly. Now, see these tiles? You can pull them all out in one. Going to use these in every game. And underneath there's the dice with enough room for you to be able to get them out. You know, you don't want to make everything too tight with things like dice. You never get things out without turning it over and everything dropping out like a nutter. And then these are just bits and bobs. Now, in a lot of my boxes, I would make these tidy, and then they'd all have their own little compartments. But there's so few of these, I sort of bung them all in there. Lovely jubbly. Grand job. So that's just the base tiles. Now, let's get back in. You can put them all, you know, in those little ways. It's a bit weird because you've got to learn the techniques for putting them away and stuff like that. So that's just the base game in there. Now, again, very tight. Now this, we're getting into, this is the first, it's not an expansion, this one. It's like, you know, it's a module that comes in the game, base game, I think. Well, this one's what it says. So again, we're saying on here, page 10 of the rule book. So if you were looking in the rule book, you think, oh, I want to play that one, and you can see it's on page 10, you'll be able to reference and find it. Because in the big box, you've got to look at all these charts and work out, and it's all symbols because they're, you know, trying to make it language independent or whatever. And geez, man, trying to find anything there's like, you know, trying to find something that's really hard to find in a place. So anyway, module 1, curses, what's there? Module 2, treasures, what's there? Right. So, but we've also, in this little packet, we've got a queenie, because in order to make it fit, I had to try and put some bits and mix in some of the other bits to make them all the right amount of tiles to fit in them. So we've got a queenie in here as well. So anyway, let's have a look at the curses and treasures. So, bam, out they come. They're the tiles you want. Perfect. Lovely jubbly. Now, this is one of the improvements over the big box. Is you wanted to play curses and treasures, yep. Finding the tiles, fine, no bother. Trying to find the bits that go with it, God. And it's not too bad on modules and curses. Once you get into some of the later expansions, duh, sod that. They all look the same. And it's deadly. So anyway, so here, look, right, I've made a little tray, right, and this has got all the bits that come with curses and the treasures expansion, right? So you've got your curse cards and your treasures. But what I also have, right, I've written on here exactly what goes there, and like in here. If I can get it out, tells you what's in there. Because sometimes you're playing the game and you know you've got all these bits and you think, oh, where the hell do they go? And especially in that big box, where do they go? And you look on the chart, you're doing that, and you're pulling your blooming hair out. You're going, what? Where's this go? And then you put it in there, and if it's in the wrong place, then you're stuffed for the next time you play. God, what a deadly nightmare. Here, no bother. No bother, son. Bung them in. Is that right? But then again, I haven't actually tested it out. I haven't played it. Well, I have played the game, but I haven't played it since I made the box. But now, this is one of the flaws in my design, because my design is not perfect. No design's perfect. I'm forever learning. This is a bit fiddly, right? So you get the curse cards, and they just sit on there. Now, ideally, you'd want a little board around there, so like we've got here. It's lovely, it holds them all in. You want that, but you can't, because I was so tight for space, I didn't have a millimetre to spare, not a millimetre. And if I wanted to put a thing around there, that's adding on 4 millimetres, so that's just no chance. But it's all right, you get used to it. You get used to a technique. It just goes like that. Lovely, lovely. I love it. And then look at that, there's a little thing here to help you pull it up. How good is that? Now, we have the Queenie in here, which is a bit random, but I'll tell you what page it's on, page 28, and I've got the symbol. So when you look in the rulebook, you think, oh, I quite fancy playing that Quest Chambers. You know, you've only got 3 places you could possibly look. Do you know? And it's there, it's all referenced. Grand. Again, little tab there. You've got your 3 Quest Chambers, it's there. This is the same. Curses, telling you exactly what's there, with a lovely number 2 times. I love drawing letters and numbers, it's my thing, it's my job. And in there, 5 of them tokens. Nice little, funky little 5. I think that's quite a nice 5. I'm still, you know, 5s. I've been struggling to not struggling, but 5s are interesting to draw. Very interesting. It's very hard to get to make them look nice. Like 8s, very hard. And look here. You know, that's really skimpy. It's very fiddle-ass making these things, but worth it. I love it. I enjoy it. Takes a lot of time though. So you put them in. Sweet as enough. Put them in. Lovely. You see the beauty of that. That's the tiles and all the pieces for the Queenie Quest chambers. No nonsense. No nonsense. The only nonsense is this weird thing of trying to hold these curse things because they slide around. But it only happens, doesn't happen all the time. You get a technique, bam, whap it in. Great. Bam, whap it in. That was quick, wasn't it? Right. Next one. So again, now I've got these in order, you see. Like, you got that base game, first expansion. Well, that wasn't the first expansion. This is actually the first expansion. Illusions. So we've got illusion chambers and special chambers. Right, and there's my tab down there. So I know on the left, the first tab, bam. That's everything I need for illusions and the special chambers. You want to play it? I've got it. Do all the tiles you need. Now, because this has got less curses and less bits, this has got a little rim around it, so lovely, secure. Well, within reason anyway. And I've got a thing, tells you what's on it, so you know if you've got all the bits in there. Pretty good. Like that. Illusions. So that's the first expansion. Bam, all there. Expansion 2. Rulebook. Page 16. Perfect. Quest. Quest chambers and the characters. Bam. There's your 5 quest chambers. Dang. Same again. You learn that, take them out again. It's a bit annoying, the flappiness. These things, they do flap and slide about, and I can imagine that someone who wasn't used to it just getting a bit done in by that. But you know, here we go. Look, 6 of them, 3 of them, 3 of them. Now I couldn't get a symbol for whatever this grey blob is. Ghost. I mean, look at it. Don't look like a ghost to me. But I've got it up here. Look, little ghosty with an arrow, and up here 2 times each of them characters. No mistake. You know what's in there. You know if you're missing something. You know if you put something in the wrong place. Fine. Bit fiddle-ass putting it away, but Jesus man, it's not as fiddle-ass as the bloody big box. All in there, lovely. You look at that, and just look at that, like half a mil to spare. I mean, you know, this box was a bit cosmic the way it worked out. Once I'd sussed how the things were going to go, the end result of it, it was meant to be. I'm telling you. Now, final one. So again, it's tight. I'm having to do this kind of thing. Normally, I wouldn't do that. Normally, I'd make it so it was easy to get out. But because it's so tight, I haven't got room to put my fingers in. Normally, I'd make a box and I'd leave a bit of finger room so I could get in there and pull it out. But I can't with this. You've got to fiddle about and tit about, and that's a bit crap because all these things I've written on, they might wear off. It's annoying. Anyway, final box. Page 22, expansion 3, traps. Traps and time chambers. So, traps and time chambers. It's the easy one. Look at that. That was the easiest. I love shaking it. They're all the tokens that go with that. So, traps and time chambers. They're the tokens. Grand. Now, this is where I start getting into randomness in the box, because I couldn't really order the Queenies in the order that they're in the rulebook, because I needed, whatever, 6 or however many tiles it is to bring this up to the top, and I had to work out some here, some there, as you say, there's one under here, in order for it to work, which is a bit of a shame, but nothing's perfect, is it? So now here I've got 4 Queenies And originally I was going to make a little tray and thing for each one, but I thought, sod it. Well, I had to. I didn't think I sod it. I had to do it because it was the only way to do it. They're just all lumped together. So I've got 4 queenies there. So if you want one of them queenies, you can find it here. It tells you the pages they're on. And you have to look for your tile. That's all right. Jesus, we can cope with having to look for your tile. At least it's in an obvious place. And all this stuff again, all drawn on, and this is all the tokens. Seen all that before. Don't need to see it again. It's so cool. Maybe you want to see it again because it's so cool. Sorry. You can watch the video again if you want to. Now, I wonder how many people are going to actually watch this video and like it. You know, how many people are as nuts as I am and are as mental for game boxes and who would watch a 20-minute long, and I think it's 20 minutes, I bet it's probably half an hour at the end of it, about a box. I would. Would anyone else? I don't know. So, yeah, it's a little bit fiddly getting them in sometimes, but you know, it's actually, you know, like this is one reason why I do it. Doing that, that's magic. It's absolutely magic. I love it. You know, I love it. You want those? Yeah, look, right, there's the problem. Straight away, that's the problem. So, I'm not trying to hide anything in it. Design's got problems, I'm aware. I don't like that, I don't love that. But that's why you'd soon get into the thing. Right, take the tiles out. And then you take that out. And then you don't have a problem. There's this one. Oh, apart from knocking it and knocking the things everywhere because I'm being a bit manic. Whereas this one gives the thrill because you get a whole blooming lot in one action. Love it. Love it. Right, last one. Now, I've got all the rest of the random queenies. At least I've kept them in order that they're in the rule books with these ones. Even though they're not stacked in order. On here they're in order. Don't know. Sometimes you take the rough with the smooth. So 5 queenies and the queenies from the Kickstarter. So the first one is actually, I would like it to be here, the first one there, but it's not, it's down here. Just because there's a few bits in it. The New Quest Chambers, got that. Another one of these in a nice little, I mean that one actually looks particularly nice. I haven't played these ones, these queenie ones. I wonder what they're like. That's 6 times, perfect. 6 is tricky, all the numbers are actually really tricky to draw really nice. Difficult. It's very hard to make them look really nice. I can do it, but you know, I quite often wouldn't do it first time. You know, I draw number 6 and wouldn't be happy with it. I have to draw it again. So now this is that's just tiles from random queenies mixed up. Sure, you're gonna have to hunt for them. Sure, you got to look for them. Nothing I can do about it. It's the way of the world. Now this is a better one. This is, you know, this is quite thick and together, but again, it's random. You know, you'd be thinking, right, I want to find this token. And, you know, Jesus, it might be buried in there, and I couldn't find a solution for it. Not with the limited space I had. I bet there is a better solution. But Jesus, I mean, you know, I've spent a long time making this. I mean, to get this working out, you wouldn't believe how many hours that took of just thinking and praying and, you know, and then you got to make the thing. I mean, you don't realise how long it takes to make these things. God, I mean, I did a video, I haven't put it on the channel yet. I did a video about covering this box in paper so people could see how to do it, because I'm trying to make a thread on BGG about how I make the boxes just using photographs, because millions of videos, I don't know, but I thought I have to do the one about putting the paper on because it's really hard to explain that in words. 45 minutes? God, Bennett, to put a bit of paper on a box. Nuts. I mean, you know, and I'm telling you, you know, it was last night I put the lid. I cut up the box and did the lid. Do you know how long that took me? It took about 6 hours. I was up to 3 in the morning doing that. 6 hours. But it was pressure because you've only got one chance. If I made a mistake, gutting. Absolute gutting. I can't afford to make that mistake because you just got one chance. You've got one box. And each cut you make is the final cut, isn't it? Pink Floyd, final cut. That's what it's about. You've got one chance. Cut and that's it. So you better make sure you do it right. And I did. When I was doing it, I did make some mistakes. There was one bit where something wasn't square. And I couldn't work out where it had gone wrong and it wasn't working out. And Jesus, it wrecked my head. Totally wrecked my head. No. So look at that. You know, it's all nice things. It's a shame these things are going to rub off in time, I imagine. Maybe they won't. Maybe I'll just try varnishing them. So anyway, so these all go back in. Now again, because it's so tight, I had to make a special handle thing to be able to pull it out. Like that. Can't get used to, you see, it's all just it's lovely. It'll loosen up. I mean, you know, the paint is still a little bit, it's not wet, but it's still a bit tacky. It actually takes days and days and days and days for this spray paint to really dry. And it's a shame that the box has got a bit worn, but you live and you learn. I mean, I am thinking about, I mean, I've got all these bits of aluminium angle iron and stuff I use here for making them. I did think about actually trying to put these in the corner like that and put them in the corner on the inside there. So, because these are exactly the same width as the grey board, 2mm, exactly the same. Is that? Oh no, that's a bit fatter. Four, they're the same. Maybe it's these ones that are the same. Oh yeah, look, it's those bits that are the same. That's exactly the same. Jesus, that's different. Let's get some more of that. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, waffling, that's what I do. I'm waffling. And I tell you, I wouldn't be able to make this video if I was looking at myself in the camera. I couldn't deal with that at all. Such an ugly mug. Too much. So, put the box back, the lid back on. Lovely. I love holding it. It's grand. And that is going to look fabulous on the shelf. On the side, I mean, you know, again, I don't know whether to go sides or flat when I stack them. But, you know, all my other boxes, you know, they're all like slightly different heights. It just looks messy. It looks like fucking broken teeth. And that looks fabulous. I think, anyway. Whether you think it does, I don't know. So, that was Escape, Curse of the Temple. That's my box. Did I show you it in relation to the El Grande? I don't know if I did. Maybe I did. Look, you can see the size difference there. How much that's brought it down, look. Do you know? You know, it's that's a huge reduction. It's about half the size of the volume. Takes, you know, my shelves are bursting. And I'm not one to get rid of games, so I make them make the boxes smaller and smaller. And this is so solid. It's heavy. It's heavy. Anyway, I don't want to stop talking, so I'm enjoying this so much. That was what has Matto been doing. That's me. Matto, what have I been doing? I've been making boxes. What am I going to do? I'm going to make more boxes. I'll put other stuff up that I do. I might put some of my carving and things up. But the next one, now this is the challenge for the next one. I'm going to do this one. Because geez man, I can get this down into fucking, excuse my language. I try not to swear. It's not easy, it slips out. Into a really thin thing here. Really thin I can make it. There's hardly anything in this big box. Look, they make this massive box. It's huge. There's nothing in it. Get it down to nothing. But this is the problem, you see. This box alright, but this one I can get it down into practically nothing. I can get it down to something like this. The size of the board is the ultimate thing, but I reckon I can make it, you know, about that thick, instead of this thick, you know, about that thick. But how the hell am I going to get this picture to fit on it properly? How am I going to get these? There, that is wider than what it's going to be. See, I was all right here. I managed to do it. It's wide enough. But this is the big problem when you take them down: is how am I going to use these letterings on it? I might have to go to a printer or something and get him to scan that and reduce it, but it's not as nice as using the original box. This is lovely. It's all textured and it just looks lovely. Anyway, escape. Goodbye. I love it. I love you. I'm Matto. Goodbye.